Dear students, I am very happy to see you in this video lecture on course code U18 PCIT 602, course name Human Computer Interaction. And I am D. Rukmani, Assistant Professor in the Department of Information Technology, working in Bharat Institute of Higher Education and Research, going to deliver you the video lecture on the topic Cognitive Models. Under cognitive models, we are going to see the goal and task hierarchies, linguistic notations, physical and device, and at last the architectural design. First, we are going to see about the cognitive models. So under the cognitive models, there are the model aspects of the user and the common categorization. So under the model aspects of user, we'll be having the understanding, knowledge, intentions, and processing. So under the categorization, we are going to see about the competences versus the performance, the computational flavor, and no clear divide. So these are the common categorizations which comes under the cognitive models. The next we are going to see about the goal and the task hierarchies which comes under the cognitive models. So the goal and task hierarchies. Here the mental processing serves as a divide and conquer method. Example, here we are going to use is the sales report. So for the sales report, we will be producing the report, we will be gathering the report. After gathering, we are going to find the book names. So under the book names, we will be having do keywords, we will be searching for the names in the database. So for further subgoals, we will be doing so on for the searching database names. Next, shift through names and abstract by the hands. So these steps also we will be further doing for the subgoals. Next, searching the sales database. Then here also we are going to do the further subgoals. The last we will be having the layout tables and the histograms. So under this, we will be doing for the further subgoals. We will be writing the descriptions for the further subgoals. So these are the goals and the task hierarchies which comes under the cognitive models. So here we are going to see about the goals versus task. So goals means it is an intention. Task means it's an action. So under the goals, we are going to see what you would like to be true. So under the task, we are going to see how to achieve it. So goals. So goals is the goals or internal. Under the goals, the goals serves as an internal one, whereas the HTA serves as an action external. Here the tasks are abstractions, whereas in the goals are internal. Next, we are going to see the issues for the goal hierarchies. So we are going to see the issues under the goal hierarchies. So the issues are granularity, routine learned behavior, which is not a problem solving, conflicts, error. So under the granularity, we are going to see where do we start and where do we stop. So under the routine learned behavior, which is not a problem solving, we are going to see the unit task. Under the conflict, we are going to see more than one way to achieve the goal. At last, the issues under the goal hierarchy is an error. The next, we are going to see the techniques under the goals and task hierarchies. The first technique is the goals. The goals full form is the goals, operators, methods, and selection. The next, the second technique is the CCT, which is a cognitive complexity theory. The third technique is the hierarchical task analysis, which is an HTA. Further, we are going to see in detail about the goals, CCT, and the HTA. So before we have seen about the goals and the task hierarchies. So under the goals and the task hierarchies, we have seen the goals versus the task, whereas here the goal serves as a goals or internal, whereas the HTA here the action serves as an external. So we'll be seeing the issues for the goal hierarchies. So here we have seen 4 issues. The first one is the granularity. The second is the routine learned behavior, which is not a problem solving. The third one is a conflict. And the fourth one is an error. Next, we have seen the techniques. The first one is the goals. The second one is the CCT. The third one is the HTA. Now we are going to see in detail about the goals and CCT, which is a goals, operators, methods, and selections. Next is the cognitive complexity theory. The first, goals. So goals full form is goals, operators, methods, and selection. So under the goals, we are going to see what the user wants to achieve. Under the operators, here we are going to see the basic actions user will perform. Under the methods, we are going to see the decomposition of a goal into a sub-goals or the operators. Under the selection, we are going to see the means of choosing between the competing methods. So these are the things we are going to see in detail. The first is the goal. Here the what the user wants to achieve. Operators means it is a basic action where the user performs. Methods means it is a decomposition of a goal which is into a sub-goals or the operators. The next is the selection. Here it means of choosing between the competing methods. Next, we are going to see the examples under goals. So for the goal, here we are choosing the goal as a close window. So for that, we are going to select the goal, which is we are going to use the menu method. Next, we are going to move the mouse to file menu. Then we are going to pull down the file menu. After pull down, we are going to click over the close option. So these are the things for close window. The next goal is we need to use Control W method to press the Control W key. So for pressing the Control W key, we are going to the goal. Main goal here is we are going to use the Control W method. So for this, we are using a particular user. The rule one is under the rule one, we are going to select the use menu method unless another rule applies. The second rule is this: if the application is a game, then we need to select the Control W method. If it is not a game, then we need to select the use menu method. If it is a game, then we need to select the Control W method. Next, the second technique under the cognitive model, that is the goal and the task hierarchies, is this cognitive complexity theory. So under the cognitive complexity theory, we have two parallel descriptions. The first one is the user production rules. The second one is the device generalized transition networks. So here we are having two parallel descriptions. The first one is the user production rules. The second one is the device generalized transition network. So here the production rules are of the form if condition, then action. So here we'll be having the if condition followed by the action. So here the transition networks covered under the dialogue models only. Next, the examples for CCT, that is a cognitive complexity theory, is the editing with VI. So here the production rules are in a long-term memory. So here we'll be using a model working memory as an attribute value mapping. So here we'll be having a goal as a perform unit task. Next, the text task is the insert space. The next test task is at 5:23. The last is the cursor 8:7. So these are the model working memory as an attribute value mapping. Next, the rules or the patterns which are matched to the working memory. So example is the look text task, which is at a percentage line and the percentage column. If it is true, with the line equal to 5 and column equal to 23. So this is an example for editing with VI under CCT, which is a cognitive complexity theory. The next, we are going to see the notes on cognitive complexity theory, which is a CCT. So the notes are, we'll be having a parallel model. Next, we'll be having a proceduralization of actions, no voice versus expert style rules, error behavior can be represented. Next, we are going to measure the depth of the goal structure, the number of the rules, and the comparison with the device descriptions. So these are the notes which comes under CCT. First, we are going to see about the parallel model. Next, we are going to see about the proceduralization of actions. Next is the no voice versus expert style rules. Next is an error behavior that can be represented. Next, the measures comes under the CCTR. The first one is the depth of the goal structure. The second is the number of the rules. And the last is the comparison with the device descriptions. The next we are going to see is the problems with the goal hierarchies. The problems comes under the goal hierarchies are a post hoc technique, expert versus novice, and how we are going to use the cognitive models. How cognitives are they? So these are the problems we are going to face under the goal hierarchies. The next, the second step under the cognitive model is the linguistic notation. So here we are going to understand the user's behavior and the cognitive difficulties, which are mainly based on the analysis of languages between the user and the system. So it's understanding the user's behavior and the cognitive difficulties, which are mainly based on the analysis of languages between the user and the system. So it's a similar and emphasized to dialogues on the models. So under the linguistic notations, we are going to see in detail about the BNF, which is a Backus norm form, and the TAG, which is a task action grammar. So these two things we are going to see in detail in the further slides. The next is the BNF, which is a Backus norm form. So the BNF, it's a very common notation from the computer science, a purely syntactic view of the dialogues. So here we are using the terminals such as, we'll be using the lowest level of user behavior. The example of BNF is the click mouse or the move mouse. So under the BNF, we'll be using the non-terminals. The first is the under the non-terminals. The first one is an ordering of the terminals. The second is the higher level of abstractions. The examples of non-terminals are the select menu and the position mouse. So these are the things which comes under the terminal and the non-terminal under the BNF. The example of BNF. The basic syntax of BNF is the non-terminal double colon equal to expression. The expression in the sense which contains both the terminal and the non-terminal. It's combined in a sequence of plus or as an alternative pipeline symbol. So for an example, draw line double colon equal to select line plus choose points plus last point. So otherwise we can combine using a choose points double colon equal to choose one pipeline choose one plus choose points. So either these two things we can use for combinations of the expression which contains the terminal and the non-terminals. The next we are going to see the measurements with the Backus norm form. So here the measurements we are using here are the number of rules that is not so good and the number of plus and pipeline operators. The complications under the BNF are, here we are using a same syntax for different semantics. So no reflection of user's perception. So here we are using a minimal consistency checking. So these are the complications which comes under the BNF. The first is the number of rules. The second is the number of plus and pipeline operators. The third is the complications. So under the complications, we are going to see here, we are going to face the same syntax for different semantics, no reflections of users' perceptions, minimal consistency checking. The next, we are going to see the second one under the linguistic notation is the tag, which is a task action grammar. So under the tag, we are going to make the consistencies more explicit. Next, encoding the user's world knowledge. Next, parameterized grammar rules. Here, the non-terminals are modified to include the additional semantic features. So these are the steps which comes under the tag. The first one, we are going to make a consistencies more explicit. Second, we are going to encode the user's world knowledge. The third is the parameterized grammar rules. The last is the non-terminals are modified to include the additional semantic features. Next, the consistencies in tag. So in Backus norm form, 3 Unix commands would be described as copy, move, and the link. So copy double colon equal to cp plus file name, the plus of file name, pipeline operator, cp plus file names plus directories. So likewise, for copy, we are using cp. For move, you are using mv. For the link, we are using ln. So these are the 3 Unix commands which are described for the BNF under the consistencies in tag. So here, no BNF measures would distinguish between dis and a less consistent grammars in which the consistency is of an argument order which makes an explicit using a parameters or a semantic features for the file operations. So a consistency is of an argument order which are made explicit using a parameters or a semantic features for the file operations. So here we will be using a feature possible values, that is an OP. So which is used for copy, move, and click. So the rules for OP, that is file hyphen OP of OP double colon equal to command OP plus file name, pipeline operator, command OP plus file names plus directories. So OP equal to copy means which is CP, OP equal to move which is equal to MV, OP equal to link which is equals to LN. So these are the consistencies that comes under the tag. It's a task action grammar. The next, the other uses of tags are users existing knowledge, congruence between the features and the commands. These are the models which is used as the derived rules. So before going to the physical and the device model, we are going to further conclude those two topics which comes under the cognitive models. The first we have seen is the goals and task hierarchies. So under the goals and the task hierarchies, we have seen the goals versus tasks, the issues for the goal hierarchies, which is a granularity, routine learned behavior, conflict, and the error. So next, under the techniques, we have seen the GOMS, CCT, and HTA. So in this slides, we are going to see in detail about the GOMS and CCT alone. So GOMS, which is a goal operators method selection. Next, under the GOMS, we are seeing the example, which is a close window or the use control W method. Next is the CCT, which is a cognitive complexity theory. So here we are using a two parallel descriptions, that is a user production rule and the device generalized transition networks. So under CCT, we have seen an example, that is editing with VI. So here under CCT, we are using a measures, that is depth of a goal structure, the number of rules, and the comparison with the device descriptions. Next, the problems under the goal hierarchies, which is an post-hoc technique and expert versus novice. Next is the linguistic notation. So under the linguistic notation, we are going to see in detail about the Backus-Norm, that is BNF, and the task action grammar, which is TAG. So BNF, which is a syntactic view of a dialogue. Here we are under the BNF, we are having a terminal and the non-terminal. The terminal denotes the click mouse and the move mouse. Non-terminal denotes the select menu and the option mouse. So examples of BNF we have seen. Next, the measurements with the BNF. The measurements, that's the number of rules, number of plus, and pipeline operators. So under the BNF, we have so many complications. Here we'll be using a same syntax for different semantics, no reflections of users' perceptions, minimal consistency checking. So next is the TAG, which is a task action grammar. Here we are making a consistencies more explicit. So here we are going to encode the user's world knowledge and the parameterized grammar rules. So here the non-terminals are modified to include the additional semantic features. The consistencies in the tag. So under the consistencies, we are using 3 Unix commands, that is a copy, move, and link. Next is the consistencies in the tag. So here we are going to use OP, that is equals to copy, move, and the link. Next, the other uses of tags are, here we'll be using a user's existing knowledge, congruence between the features and the commands. These are modeled as the derived rules. The next, the third step which comes under the cognitive model is the physical and the device models. So under the physical and the device models of the cognitive, we are going to see here is a KLM, which is a keystroke level method. So which is introduced by Buxton's 3-state model. which is mainly based on empirical knowledge of human motor system. Here we'll be using a user's task, which is an acquisition, then execution. So for the user's task, first it includes the acquisition, then proceeded with the execution. So these only address executions. So here we'll be using a complementaries with the goal hierarchies. So KLM, which is a keystroke level model. So it's a lowest level of original goals, that is a goal operator method selection. So here we are using a 6 execution phase operators. That the first one is the physical motor, second is the mental, third is the system. So under the physical motor, here we are using a 4 phase operators that are K, P, H, and D. The K refers to as keystroking, P referred to as pointing, H refers to as homing, at last D refers to as drawing. The second execution phase operator is a mental. For mental, we are using M, which is a mental preparation. Third one is a system. Here we are using a key phase as R, which is a response. So here under the KLM, that is a keystroke level model, the times are empirically determined. The last step under the cognitive model is the architectural model. So all of these cognitive models makes an assumptions about the architecture of a human mind. So here we are using both the long-term versus short-term memory. So problem spaces occurs, interacting the cognitive subsystems, connectionist, and the act. So these are the things which comes under the architectural model of a cognitive. So next, display-based interaction. So here, the most cognitive models do not deal with users' observation and the perceptions. Some techniques have been extended to handle the system output. So here, for the example, that's a Backus normal form with sensing terminals, next display tag, but the problems will persist. So here we are going to see the exploratory interaction versus planning under the display-based interactions. Next, we are going to see about the socio-organizational issues and the stakeholders' requirements. So here, under the organizational issues affect acceptance, under this, we are going to see the conflict and the power, who will benefit and who are going to encourage it. Next, the stakeholders. Next is the socio-technical models, soft system methodologies, participatory design, ethnographic methods. So these are the things which comes under the socio-organizational issues and the stakeholder requirements. The first is an organizational issues. So under the organizational issues, we are going to study the work group, which is not sufficient. That is, here, any system is used within a wider context, and the crucial people need not be used for the direct uses. So before installing a new system, we must understand who benefits, who puts in effort, the balance of a power in the organization, and how it will be affected. Even when a system is successful, it may be difficult to measure the success. Next is the conflict and the power, which is a CSCW, which is referred to as a computer-supported cooperative work. So here, the people and the groups will have a conflicting goals. Next, the systems assuming cooperations with faith. So the example under the CSCW is a computerized stock control. So here we are going to identify the stakeholders, not just the users. Next is an organizational structure. So groupware which affects an organizational structures. So here a communication structure will reflect the line management. Next is an email, which is a cross-organizational communication. So the technologies that can be used to change the management style and versus the power structures. But it need to know that what we are doing and more often an incident. Next is an invisible worker. So here the telecommunications improvement will allow the neighborhood work centers and the home-based teleworking. So here the many ecological and the economic benefits that will reduce the car travel, flexible family commitments. But the management by the present does not work under the invisible workers. The presence will increase the perceived worth. That's a problem for the promotions under the invisible workers. Next, who will benefit for all the stakeholders? The first is the disproportionate effort. That's we need to identify who puts in the effort, which is not equal to who gets the benefit. So this is what an disproportionate effort. Who puts in the effort, which is not equal to who gets the benefit. The example is the shared diary. So here under the shared diary, we are going to see the effort, benefit, and the result. The effort is done by the secretaries and the subordinates. They will be entering the data. Who will get the benefit? The managers. They are easy to arrange the meetings because of the secretary and the subordinate works. At last, which falls into disuse. The solution for this is a chorus use and design in symmetry. Next is a free rider problem. It's a no bias, but it's still a problem, which is possible to get the benefit without doing work. If everyone does it, the system falls into disuse. That is, example under the free rider problem is an electronic conference. So it is possible to read, but it never contribute. The solutions are the strict protocols. That is, our example for a strict protocol is a round robin. Next solution is it will increase the visibility that relies on the social pressure. Next, we are going to see the critical mass. So under the critical mass, we are going to see the early telephone system, electronic communications, which are similar, and how to get started. So for telecommunication, we are going to see the few subscribers and the lots of subscribers. So under the electronic communication, we are going to see the benefits, which is proportional to the number of subscribers. So which is early users have the negative cost. So it need to be critical mark to get net be discovered. So how to get started? So we are going to look for the clicks to form a core user base. Next, we are going to design to benefit an initial small user base. That is, here we are going to plot a graph versus the critical mass. So number of users versus the number of subscribers. So for that, we'll be marking the cost of use and the benefits of use under the critical mass. Next, we are going to evaluate the benefits. So for evaluating, we need to know the job satisfaction and the information flow and the economic benefits. But the cost of the hardware and the softwares, only two is obvious under the evaluating the benefits. Next is the capturing requirements. So here we need to identify the requirements within the context of use. Next, we need to take an account of stakeholders, work groups, and practice. Next, an organizational context. So many approaches including socio-technical modeling, soft system modeling, participatory design, contextual inquiry. So who are stakeholders? The system will have many stakeholders with potentially conflicting interests. The stakeholders is anyone affected by the success or a failure of a system. So here we'll be having the types, that is a primary, secondary, tertiary, and a facilitating. So these are the types of the stakeholders. Next, here the designers will need to meet as many stakeholders need as possible. So they will be usually in conflict, so have to prioritize. So often the priority decreases as moved down the categories. Example, the primary most important. It is not always example, the life support mission. Next, the socio-technical modeling. The response to the technological determinism concerned with the technical, social, organizational, and human aspects of the designs. So here we'll be having the information gathering, that is through interviews, observations, focus groups, and the document analysis. So here we'll be having several approaches. Example, custom, OSTA. We are going to see in detail about the custom and OSTA. First, custom. So here under the custom, we have 6-stage process which focus on stakeholders. The first, we are going to describe the organizational context. Next, we need to identify and describe the stakeholders, including the personal issues. Next, we needed to identify and describe the work groups, whether formally constituted or not. The fourth, We need to identify and describe the task object pairs. Next, we need to identify the stakeholder needs. Last, we need to consolidate and check the stakeholder requirements against the earlier criteria. The last is the OSTA. Here we are having an 8-stage model which focus on task. The custom which focus on stakeholders, which focus on task. So the primary task in terms of user goals. The task inputs to system identify, external environment, the transformation process within the system, social system is analyzed. Next, the technical system is described. Performance certification criteria are established. Last, the new technical system is specified. Next is the soft system methodologies. So here, the no assumptions of technological solutions. It is developed by the checkman. Here we will be having a 7 stages. First, we are going to recognize the problems. Next, the detailed description of a problem situation. Generate the root definition of the systems, the conceptual models. Next, we are going to compare the real world to the conceptual models. We are going to identify the necessary changes. At last, we are going to determine the actions to effect the changes. Thank you.